When you're hitting the bag, right? I see you hitting them. When you walk, I want you to do like this. And don't do boom, 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 boom. You keep for boom, 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 boom. How long you can do that? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
All I think when he weighed in for Mike Tyson was 227 pounds.
Gervonta Tank Davis just joined forces with the one and only Mike Tyson, and their training session was pure chaos in the best way. The gym was electric as Tyson passed down his signature ferocity and fight IQ, personally drilling Tank on explosive punches, slick head movement, and knockout-level uppercuts. Those who watched said Davis looked sharper than ever, channeling Tyson's power and precision. With Iron Mike in his corner, Tank's looking scarier than ever heading into the Jake Paul showdown.
Yeah. Are there any considerations when you're moving your head, like you're trying to get your head out of the center line?
No, well, you want to get out the center, but the objective for him to throw the punch is so you can count it. And if he throws the punch here, you count here, you go to here, and you're still outside.
Yeah. Absolutely, that makes sense. So you want them to miss, and when they miss, that's your opportunity.
Absolutely. Sometimes you can punch while he's punching, you can throw boom at the same time. As he's punching, boom, he go down.
Absolutely.
It's all about moving after you punch. As soon as you punch, you're going. Whatever it is, boom, side, whatever it is, you have to go.
I love that foot movement. Is that something that Casamano taught you?
Yeah, twisting.
Twisting is what it's called.
The Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis exhibition is officially set for November 14th at the Casa Center in Miami, Florida. Originally planned for Atlanta, the fight was moved after Georgia's commission raised concerns about the massive weight gap between the two stars. And it's no exaggeration, the difference is huge.
Oh my days. Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. Is this real? This can't be real. Because he was talking about fighting Joshua, which is heavyweight. And now he's saying about fighting Tank. Nah, this can't be. It's Netflix as well. I need to go and do some checks and see if like the main pages have posted this, but Jake Paul's posted it. It says Friday, November 14th. It's in Atlanta, State Farm Arena. This is random, no?
3. Mike Tyson, who's shared the ring with Jake Paul himself, isn't taking this matchup lightly. He knows the pressure and unpredictability Paul brings. But Tyson also warns that facing Davis with his speed, timing, and devastating one-punch power could be a nightmare for Jake. Paul's got the size and youth advantage, sure, but Tyson's message is clear. Underestimate Tank and you'll pay for it.
I think Gervonta Davis is probably the greatest fighter around now. But he's got a tough fight coming up. You know, he's the top dog. There's no doubt about it. He showed that. But Barrios, he's a pretty good fighter. Last time I saw him fight, he was pretty durable.
Even so, Tyson admitted something surprising after his own session with Jake Paul, that Paul's punches pack real power. Tyson said his entire body ached afterward, shocking fans who thought Jake's strength was all hype. Coming from a man who built his legacy on knockouts, that's no small compliment. Tyson's praise proves Jake's no longer a YouTuber playing boxer. He's a real fighter who hits like a truck.
Oh no, I don't remember the fight that much. I kind of blanked out a little. Listen, know what I remember? Coming back from the first round. Then the next day I remember Jake is doing some kind of, I don't know, what was he doing at the ring?
Oh yeah, a little bow at the end, he bowed.
And that's the last thing I remember. You know, but the day after the fight, right after, the day after, I woke up and told my wife, why did I do that? You know, I don't know. I just don't know what the hell goes on.
What did you think of Jake's power, man, when you were in there?
I don't remember it, but my body was really sore. Yeah, my body, my chest, my stomach and stuff was really sore.
Fans and analysts can't stop comparing Gervonta Davis to a young Mike Tyson, both explosive, aggressive, and larger than life. But the comparisons only go so far. Davis fights in a different era, a lighter weight class, and a completely different boxing environment. Tyson's legend was built in a heavyweight world that defined an entire generation.
I mean, I have to ask you, would you ever remake your famous video game? Bring it to the next generation consoles, my friend?
Hey, I'm just happy to be alive. Thank
What
you.
about, I mean, what do you think about people comparing Tank Davis to you? I mean, what do you think about that?
Tank's a great fighter.
You think he's a great fighter? But what do you think about them comparing it to you? I mean, you're a legend, my friend.
Well, he'll be one too if he keeps fighting.
Oh, okay. All right, well, thank you. Okay, bye.
Davis, however, isn't too fond of the next Tyson label.
He said flat out that he's more of a boxer-puncher, a mix of speed, timing, and setup, whereas Tyson was pure aggression and pressure. Tank wants to carve his own path, not live in another legend's shadow.
Do you feel like you're the mini Mike Tyson?
Nah.
What do you call your style?
I don't know. I think I'm a boxer puncher.
What was Mike Tyson?
He was a brawler.
Brawl means more than one person.
A brawler, like somebody that's like.
So he knocked people out real quick. You knock people out real quick.
Yeah, but I can knock you out like.
So you saying that you can knock him out faster than Mike Tyson, probably, if it was a challenge?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like. Mike Tyson got power and skills. I feel as though like I have like the whole pack. I don't know, I'm me.
7. When Tyson was asked about the comparison, he didn't sugarcoat his response. He said maybe they have one thing in common, trouble outside the ring, but beyond that, they're very different. It was a brutally honest take, showing Tyson respects Davis's talent, but doesn't buy into the hype of being his modern reflection.
For Tank Davis, a lot of people say he reminds you of them. Does he remind you of yourself?
There we go. I don't know. Maybe just getting in trouble with the law, but than that, no.
Interestingly, Tank hasn't always treated Tyson like an untouchable hero. After Tyson's loss to Jake Paul, Davis publicly questioned why the legend stepped back into the ring at all. He suggested that the fight may have hurt Tyson's legacy more than helped it. But now, with Davis himself taking a flashy, controversial fight against Jake Paul, he's hearing the same criticism he once gave out.
Do you think that it's fair to call them boxers now? We talk about Logan brothers.
I think it's okay to call Jake Paul a boxer. The only reason why I say that is because he do be in the gym. He's working on stuff. The fight that he fought Mike Tyson, I don't think he should have fought Mike Tyson because of who Mike Tyson is and the age. And he said that he didn't try to knock him out. Yes, you did. You just couldn't get the knockout. And he tried to knock him out for sure.
How much money do you think they paid Tank?
Tank gonna make upwards around 100 million. Real talk, so you can't really blame him for taking that.
A lot of fans think this fight is more entertainment than sport. Critics say Tank skipped a fair rematch with Lamont Roach to chase a massive payday. At the press conference, Davis fired back hard, saying he doesn't care what anyone thinks and that fans should just enjoy the show. It's clear he's done trying to please critics.
Look at this face-off, Henry. What are your thoughts?
You're hearing that shit from me. That's cringe. In some weird way, I kind of like it.
About it.
He's trying to big man the smaller guy, who the smaller guy to me is dangerous. I think Tank Davis is going to put their hands on him, but I like it, bro. I will say something about Jake Paul. He's brought a lot of attention to boxing. Tank Davis guaranteed $40 million.
If you were in that position, would you fight Jake Paul?
Oh, hell yeah. You got to give Jake Paul his flowers. Mike Tyson, Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz.
Jake Paul is a disruptor, and he's done a phenomenal job at that. You get big and famous enough to where they would just hand you the title shot and completely throw out the ranking system.
If Jake Paul was to do that, I think that'd be the greatest sports accomplishment in history. Going from a Disney Channel kid to a YouTuber to becoming a world champion.
I don't remember the last time that I've heard Gervonta Davis say, I'm in boxing to be the greatest fighter of all time. I've heard him say that he's better than certain guys in his weight class, or this kid can't beat me. I've heard that. I can't remember, and maybe y'all can keep me honest, online. The last time I've heard Gervonta Davis talk about his legacy in the ring. Like I'm building my legacy, I'm trying to outdo Floyd in legacy. Like, I think it started like that for him. But the influence of Floyd Mayweather, Money Man, not Pretty Boy, but the Money Man, and building your brand and selling tickets and selling pay-per-views and becoming a household name, that's also a legacy. You got the legacy in the ring and you got the legacy in terms of how you sold. I believe Gervonta Davis is more focused on selling tickets and making money and securing his future for himself and his family. He said it out of his own mouth. I ain't got nothing else to prove. If you're trying to be one of the greatest fighters of all time, it's still a whole lot to prove. My point is, Roy, I don't think, should everybody hold this man to the standard that they hold him to and say, you not fighting nobody, yeah, you making money, but you ain't really fought nobody. If he don't even care about that, that's not even something that he's really focused on. If his main focus is the money, and his main focus is getting out of boxing without getting hurt and retiring on his own terms, shouldn't his fan base and other people get on board with that if that's not even his goal? How can we hold him to something like that if he don't even hold himself to that?
Fighter Mike Perry isn't convinced, though. He claims Davis has lost some of the fire that made him dangerous and says passion is what fuels champions. Perry warned that facing a bigger, heavier, and hungrier Jake Paul could be risky, especially when the weight gap is close to 180 pounds. That kind of difference, he says, changes everything, from punch resistance to stamina to survival instincts.
Your buddy Jake just signed on to fight Tank Davis. What do you think of that fight? He's got like 100 pounds on him.
Yeah, and they say that there's a large weight discrepancy. Like, me and Jeremy are the same size. So, it's his lower half is really small. My legs are gonna work the best that night. I have really strong legs. I'll squat twice the size that he can, and so my strong legs are gonna do work. Jake is big. Tank has a lot of skill, but I don't think he's the same Tank that we saw the most incredible knockouts. We saw him, Lamont Roach performed great. They went to draw, and, I just don't know. And Tank walked away. I don't know if he loves it enough to beat a guy who outweighs him by 80 to 100 pounds.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult agrees, predicting Jake Paul will land heavy shots on Davis. He points to Paul's size, reach, and durability as key factors that could let him dominate. While Showbiz respects Tank's skill, he believes physics will win out, and Jake's natural advantages might be too much to overcome.
Think of how does Tank Davis beat Jake Paul? You have Shakur Stevenson saying Jake Paul doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell, and that Gervonta Tank Davis would just outbox him and beat him on points.
I can see Tank just outboxing him and making it real easy.
And I get that, but when I think of Tank Davis, I think of a guy who kind of counters you to knock you out. I think of a guy who's not really a busy fighter. And this isn't just a size thing, because hell, if it was Jake Paul versus the prime Manny Pacquiao, I would say Manny Pacquiao because of Manny Pacquiao's style, how busy he is, how he hops in and out. I think he would collect the points, while Tank Davis, I think he punches the least amount of all fighters in the world right now. So do I think he can one punch KO Jake Paul? Well, the thing is about Gervonta has really shown a huge amount of concern fighting anything north of 135. Check this out.
He hit me in the back of my head. That stung a little bit, but other than that, it wasn't really. That's why I was nervous. Like, he's 140, so I wouldn't try to get caught too clean.
Still, critics haven't forgotten Jake Paul's controversial win over a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. Many say it exposed a pattern that Jake picks opponents who bring attention, not challenge. Boxing figures like Carl Froch argued that Paul's fights are more spectacle than sport, turning boxing into a show rather than a true contest of skill.
Jake Paul, you've lost your mind if you think you can go toe-to-toe with Anthony Joshua. Listen, let's not get confused, guys. Let's not get confused. Yes, cool. Anthony, he took a big L with Daniel Dubois. But Daniel Dubois is not no joke, bro. It's not a joke. You know what I'm trying to say? He took a L there, but Jake Paul, I got the utmost respect of what he's done, how he's managed to navigate through the boxing world. Like, bro, it's so mad. And I can see this is like a 90%. It's happening, it's positioning, it's marketing already. Like, why would you see Jake Paul go face-to-face with Alexander Usyk if it's not to position for a fight for Saudi? Obviously, Jake Paul's gonna fight Anthony Joshua. There's possibly gonna be a Usyk against Tyson Fury 3, because obviously the last two were so close. But you never know. It can also be a Usyk against Derek Chisora. You know what I mean? You never know.
13. Stephen A. Smith has been one of Jake Paul's loudest critics. He's accused Jake of avoiding prime-level opponents, saying most of his fights are against veterans or non-boxers. Paul, however, fired back, saying he tried to fight Tommy Fury, and when that fight finally happened in 2023, Fury beat him by split decision. It's still the only time Jake's lost to a legitimate boxer in his prime.
You
are beating up on dudes who don't box. They're not boxers.
I was on Disney Channel while these guys were winning UFC championships.
Okay.
You know, I was playing with Mickey Mouse while these guys were throwing arm bars and winning UFC championships. Everyone's, analyzing my career, critiquing it, paying attention to it from day one, but you can't tell me who was Mike Tyson's first fight. You can't tell me who Muhammad Ali, who was his fourth fight. No one knows, but everyone's seen all of my fights. I tried to fight Tommy Fury. Yeah, I tried to fight Tommy Fury, and he backed out due to a rib injury. Undefeated, young prospect. He comes from the Fury family. His brother's a heavyweight champion of the world. I tried to fight him, and he got scared.
Smith also slammed Jake's decision to fight Tyson, arguing that if Paul truly wants respect, he should battle active fighters around his own age, not legends from past eras. For Smith, these matchups feel more like marketing plays than real boxing progression.
I can't buy the hype at this particular moment in time. Now, I'll give Jake Paul credit for this. At least he's in the ring with a boxer. But 57 years old is 57 years old. And 57 years old and formally walking into a UFC fight as an audience member, as a patron with a cane, it's hard to me believe a year later that you're going to be in any condition to really, really fight. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. And if you're Jake Paul, here's what I want to say to you. It's Mike Tyson, that's fine. It's a money fight, I get you, and you want to make money. But at some point in time, if you keep telling us that you're taking boxing seriously and you want to be recognized as a big-time boxer / fighter, you're going to have to fight somebody closer to your age, who is a contender at the very least in the sport and who lives with it every single day. Could you please get in the ring with somebody? Pretty please with sugar on top. I'm interested.
What did you think about the fight, Jake Paul?
I hate it. And Jake Paul's starting to piss me off. Mike Tyson is 57 years old, man. Jake Paul been training with professional boxing trainers for years. He takes the sport very seriously.
Thank you. So let me ask you, that's the question I have, because great kid, great businessman, by the way, amazing. And I know how he does all this, the character and the persona. We keep saying that he doesn't want to be a boxer. He's not a boxer, but then
Jake Paul is a boxer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my point.
Exactly. He's a boxer.
He can fight. I respect it. So go in there against fighters. You should be climbing the ladder towards those other fighters and taking the sport seriously to the point where you're fighting actual boxers. Now he decides to fight a fighter, a real fighter, which is Tyson. But Tyson is 30 years older. Stop this nonsense of going against dudes that either ain't boxing or is 25 years removed from the sport.
Jake Paul, on the other hand, says he's changing boxing forever. In a recent interview, he called Netflix's involvement in the sport a game changer. With Netflix now streaming his fights, Jake believes boxing is entering a new era, one that reaches millions of casual fans who never tuned in before. Love him or hate him, he's not wrong about that reach.
Huge news, by the way.
It's massive.
Like, I know we're taking it very nonchalantly. This is going to be your next super fight. And this is
on Netflix. Netflix. Insane.
So it's another Netflix fight.
November 14th, Netflix. Hey, it's fun. It's funny. Like, actually, you kind of like pioneered this a little bit. The pay-per-view model for combat is dying, it seems, especially now with the Paramount's acquisition of UFC. It seems like free fights may be the way of the future. Piracy is such a big problem. That's what it is.
And I thought you did that with one of your fights, where you were going against the piracy. What fight was that? Where I don't know, maybe.
No, I mean so there's there was like the TV era of boxing, then there was the pay-per-view era of boxing.
So what do you think? Can Tank Davis handle Jake Paul's size and power? Or will Jake prove he's truly rewriting boxing's story? Drop your thoughts below, and let's see whose corner you're in for this explosive showdown.